scenario, your own case study, your own story. Talk about yourself, not what the previous person, who is then in the same position as you, was not successful. you know like, what is your story? And a lot of us like to compare ourselves. Once you start comparing yourself with another person, you are setting up yourself for failure. What is your story? What is the story that you want to tell? Where I am now, I like to make an example with me, because a lot of things that I talk about are things that I've I've experienced. That means that I have tasted them and I know that they work. So I'm gonna tell my story of where I am now, and also the a lot of resistance within where I am now. And I looked at it as, I want to tell my own story differently, and I'm not gonna look at how this, like, the same story was not successful for somebody else. And this is also, I had a client last week. She was very frustrated. Oh, I could just sense it, virtual meeting, very frustrated. And there was a topic with HR, and she wants to advance her career, and fair enough. And she was told no because of specific reasons, and advised her, this is what I propose that she should do. So Bantu has joined. It's gonna be live soon.
Good morning, Kodani.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Your skin is glowing.
Thank you. Indoors. I'm staying indoors a lot.
Plus, you put a lot of content that you love in your, like, I see you, girl. Living
Yeah.
your best life.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's really been amazing. I can't record. Why can't I? Like, I can't record this. Oh, I can. Okay, thank you. It's been amazing. The kids are on school holiday. So for a
Okay,
week,
again.
yes, for a week, it's been a week, yes. So now, yeah, we did a lot of activities, and we also stayed a lot indoors. I think today, like, I was sleeping the whole day.
Wow. Like you. Like you. You got one person that's going to okay.
Okay, no
This is a
problem.
nice topic.
It is. And for the past, I think, weeks, I've been having clients, and they, like, really, they went back to school and they've got degrees. They feel like, one of the reasons why they're not getting, are we going live now?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
But 1 minute.
Yeah, so they feel like one of the reasons why they're not getting hired, it's because of their age. And and this topic came up a lot, and I also remembered from my previous my previous team, when I was in South Africa, that they also had the same issue, that no, I don't want to go back to school because I'm old. And really, this topic comes up a lot, and I thought it would be a great topic to talk about today. Yeah,
Sure.
because of that experience as well with few of my clients. And if you go back to school and you study a degree, you now have a degree, um
Yeah,
why do you feel like you won't get hired? I think that was
sure.
like, what really triggered for me,
Okay.
thinking that it would be a great topic for us to discuss today. Please do accept the recording. I want to record the screen.
I haven't received any pop-up with regarding that. Okay, we're not in Thursday.
Okay, still nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I have sent it now.
Sure.
Recording in progress. Yes. So I'm gonna be live now in few seconds on Link FM. So guys, live continues. I started Link
Just wanted
FM.
to give our host with this is our God, and before that was
So
Wishful
I
Waves
started Link
featuring
FM.
Stella. with the song My Worship Awaits. It is a Monday here on Reaching Higher, and on Mondays we motivate you, encourage you, so that we can rather, if not exclude myself, we can, grow and reach greater heights. Now, how can we also do that with our careers? How about we climb the career ladder with Kodani Shatwayo? Good morning, Kodani, and welcome to Reaching Higher.
Good morning and good evening or afternoon this side since it's after 5. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
such a warm welcome.
So in other parts of the world, the sun is starting to go down, whereas here it's not even peaked. Or at the it's still rising on the side of the world. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Kodani, for allowing us to have a chat with you once again. For anybody who doesn't know who Kodani Sletwayo is, please can you remind them who you are?
I am Kodali Tejoyo, as we mentioned by the name. I'm a career strategist. I am a founder of Career and Corporate Hub. I'm currently on sabbatical, so I don't have a job title anymore. So I think
Nice.
yes, I've been really focusing more on career coaching, and that's what really is making me thrive. I think at this stage, and I'm a mom of two boys. I'm a wife, not a husband. I've got a husband. And
Yes,
for
yes.
the relevance of this show, climbing the career ladder, I studied mechanical engineering and I have a postgraduate diploma in business administration. And I think it's actually quite nice to mention, the qualifications as well, because, the more we want to climb our career ladder, sometimes we don't have the right qualifications to get to that stage. And, so I think it's quite important to
Yes.
also mention what I've studied. And yeah, that's me. And now I'm living abroad.
I'm loving it for you and your family for that one because
Yes.
God is continuously doing amazing things. Now, let's talk about, job hunting. Dum, dum, dum. An interesting topic. I mean, you moved to another part of the world because of, your husband getting another offer, another job. But now, some people might look at themselves and feel like, at my age currently, am I still marketable or am I able to still apply on the job market because according to my age, I'm close to retirement, so I might not have good quality, whereas there's somebody new who's fresh, who's still got a fresh mind. Is that such a thing, by the way?
Yeah, so it is a thing in terms of ageism in the workplace or in recruitment where people feel like they will get discriminated because of their age. Either they are old or either they are too young for the age. And I think for the past 2 weeks, I've been dealing with, candidates or rather my clients that are, they are over 35, some are 40, and they feel like they won't be able to get a job because of their age, and they have freshly graduated from university. So these are people who've got degrees, and they feel like then they won't be suitable for the job market because of their age. So I mean,
Sure.
ageism is definitely a big factor, and for me, never look at age as a factor to restrict you from getting to where you are, as long as you're intentional with what you would like in life. And talking about intentions, us moving to China for this opportunity, it was something that we had discussed before, and
Okay.
we would have loved. I think this opportunity would have came actually, like, probably 5 years ago, and it didn't happen. But because we're intentional about where we would like to
All right.
what we want for our future, it's like, putting your mind to something and also being intentional. And talking about age, then, I was advising my clients that we all have a story to tell, and your story
Sure.
is what would get you hired, right? Look at like our Nelson Mandela, Utata. He was released from jail, I think, when he was 72. He became a president at 75. So that tells you
Yes.
that age is just a number, in most cases.
Okay.
I know for a lot of jobs in government where maybe they require matric, for an example, like a traffic department, they will put like an age restriction where maybe like the maximum hiring age is like 35. So you need to research about the job market that you want to get yourself into, and if
Okay.
you
All right.
then want to pursue a job where it requires a degree, that degree, is it going to get you a job afterwards? So that means that you look at the relevancy
Yes.
of the degree, and also what is it that is required in this job market. I mean, now when you talk about the current job market, a lot of people feel like the Gen Zs, or the young
The
people,
younger
the
generation.
younger generation
Yes.
would be more favorable because of, if we're talking about like tech proficiency, then they will be at a more advantage. So the fact that that would be the advantage, that means that you have to upskill yourself to get to that level as well. So it's all
Okay.
about
Yeah.
relevancy. With the degree that you have,
Uh-huh.
what is the relevancy that is relevant to the job that you're applying for,
We.
and what is the
Okay.
story behind it? You went back to school. Why did you go back to school? There's probably a story behind it. There's a lot that you have learned
Um.
during and one of the people that I was talking to, like my clients, they had like 20 years of experience, and then they decided to go back to school to study a degree because they were working as a general worker. So therefore now they want to advance their career, and now they are aiming for a
Yeah.
higher position.
Mm.
Unfortunately, they had to study full time. So that means that they had to quit their job and then go back to school to study full time. So therefore, from the experience that they've gained for the past 20 years in the industry, nobody can replace that. You've gained a lot of
That's
skills,
good. That's good.
soft skills,
Yeah.
that would allow you to be to add value in your next role. That, like, for an example,
Sure.
emotional intelligence, collaboration, those things are things that you can't just gain them from reading on a paper, or from theory. You
Yes.
need to
For
practice.
studying. Yeah.
Exactly, you need to have practiced them in order for you to acquire those
So.
skills.
So then, can I ask a question? You know how some people say, okay, I've got this lifelong dream. Perhaps, circumstances made you go to a certain career. I'm looking at the old generation, our parents. They had to go become a policeman, become a nurse, become a teacher. Those qualifications, but yet they've had dreams to become something else. Would you advise somebody who says, okay, they've been in this career for many, many years, but yet they've had a dream to become a lawyer, for example, or an attorney, to then go and pursue that, even though they've been in this career for over 20 years, as you mentioned, but now they want to pursue this career, go back and study, get the qualification, and go back onto the job market. Would you advise somebody to do that as well?
Yes, definitely. Always look at the relevancy within the qualification that you're studying. For an example, if you want to become a lawyer, when can you retire as a lawyer? How do you
Oh
plan
wow, okay.
to use your qualification? How old are you? If you are 50 and you go back to school, that means that 4 years later, you could be qualified as a lawyer, or I'm not sure if that includes also the law school, but then you still have probably 6 years that you could still practice, and you could own your own firm. Always understand what is it that you want to use your qualification for, and
Okay.
is it relevant, or rather, if you are of a certain age, are you still gonna use it until a specific age? When do you want to retire? You should always look at your age, the relevancy, and also if then you can practice with that qualification. And
Okay.
network is something that is required in any position in life
In
to go
career.
far.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So always expand your network, because you can't operate as an island. Know people. When you are there studying, reach out to people that, hey, I'm studying and this is my goal. This is where I would like to be. So
Mm,
always reach out to people and explain, or rather just put your story out there. What matters the most is the story behind you going back to
I love
school,
it.
and that's what attracts to
Okay.
people. Yes, that's why when you go
All
for an
right.
interview, What is the story that you're going to tell the interviewers that would make interviewers feel like, okay, would this person be able to adapt quickly into the new environment because of their age? You know, if you show that you're
Yes.
open-minded and you're also up to standard, up to speed with the new trends, then the interviewers wouldn't see anything wrong with your age. It's all about the story
Okay.
that you tell. What is the story behind
All
it?
right.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, with the modern way of doing things now, with this recruitment agencies are using, or some companies, corporate clients or corporate companies rather, are using this whole tech savvy, machines or AI generated swifting technology or ways, so that they don't have to go story by story or CV by CV or by individual. So how would one then navigate that in order to still continue with this journey of being on the market, but yet according to my age, I've got my ID number, and so maybe the system then says, okay, it picks it up, okay, you're a certain age. How can we navigate that as well? I know you spoke about networking, and previously I know you've also mentioned that even if you need to follow up ads, or would you also advise that you being able to stand out, use even though there is a current technology that recruiters are using?
Yeah. So first of all, Bantu, when we talk about tech savvy or artificial intelligence or application tracking systems, there's people behind those systems. So that means
Okay.
that do not limit yourself from following up on the application, because there are people that are still going to do the screening from, like what is on the application tracking systems. So as we mentioned previously in one of, like this session, that before, HR would have a lot of people doing the screening. So now you may find that there's only one person doing the screening because of now this artificial intelligence screening system. So that means that if you're worried that your CV would be rejected because of your age, I don't think the application tracking systems or artificial intelligence systems for job market or job hunting have got like like where they check the age for most companies. I don't think so. So rather remove your age from your application, because if the age is not mentioned on the advert, then that means that you shouldn't even include it. So only include your age if it's a requirement, and you know that you then fit into that category. But then if it's not mentioned on the job advert, then don't mention it. So this goes back to you need to understand your job, your customers, or rather your audience when you're applying for a job. So your audience, meaning that what is written on the job advert, the information that is required on the job advert, tailor your CV based on that, on the information that is required on the job advert. And then also the company that's then hiring, research about it. This morning I was actually having a role play interview with one of my clients as well. She had an interview, and I was asking her, do you know anything about the company? And she was saying that she mentioned few things, but she missed the key thing that could be asked in the interview, because that's what makes the company. And just now we during the interview we researched about the company. Okay, we saw this is the key thing. So this was probably 30 minutes into the role play. That changed the whole perspective also in how we should structure the questions as well, because that's what could be asked in the interview. So that's why it's quite important that you understand the audience. And if the age is not mentioned, don't even put it. And now with Poppy Act, a lot of people are like very skeptical about putting their ID numbers. I know I've said this before, that you are going to submit your ID, a copy of your ID. Therefore, you could also put it in your ID. But if you feel like the age is not on your side, then just leave it out.
All right. So let your work speak for itself. You've spoken about your experience. You've all got a
Correct.
story to tell. So let your story, let your portfolio, like you've also mentioned, put it all down. The skills you required, your achievements in your previous role, let it
Correct.
speak for itself. So
Correct.
as we're going to wrap it up now here on Climbing the Career Ladder with Kodani Tlajuayo, we're talking about ageism versus job hunting. Sometimes someone might feel like, my age doesn't allow me to be on the job market anymore with a high unemployment rate. So some people even remain in a position for years because they feel as though finding another job would not be easy. Now, can we look at how does one navigate that? You might be in a role that you're not happy with anymore, or you and we've also spoken about it, just resigning because you're unhappy, because maybe I'm thinking my age, I can't go back. I've been in this position for this long, but how does one navigate ageism as well versus job hunting?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite important to understand the qualification that you hold, and also the opportunities that it can also bring, because you find that people are getting frustrated at work, but yet they only have maybe metric, and then versus their experience, then it doesn't match the job market, and they're getting frustrated maybe because they want to get a promotion, and promotion is not coming because of then their qualification being a limiting factor, that they don't have a university qualification, and for them to get a promotion, then they need that university qualification. So it's quite important that you do such research in terms of, or rather just ask HR, in order for me to move from this position to get to this position, what is it that what is required? And that's when, if they say qualification, please go back and study 3 years to get a an NQF level 6 is not a lot. Just think of, in 3 years time, what would you be doing? Where would you be in 3 years time? So if then,
would it be worth it?
Exactly. And if it's something that's going to add value into your life, then take it as an advantage and use that opportunity to really advance your career, because education is something that no one will ever take away from you. And if you have education, then it becomes easier for you to be marketable, especially if you've got like great experience, because there are some people who like have literally been promoted, but they can't move, they can't be flexible because of the qualification being the factor. So looking at the age, really, if you still have enough time to still climb the career ladder, that means if you are like early 50s, early 40s, go back to school and advance your education.
Including the 40s and 50s, because some people might say, I'm in my late 30s, why would I even go back?
Yes, I mean,
so even the 40s and 50s.
40, you still have almost 20 years to retire. That means if you're 40, you're gonna become 50, and then 60, and then usually you retire at 65. So you still have literally 20 years of your lifetime that instead of that you could, if you advance then your career, you could then climb the corporate ladder. So always look at the advantage that comes with it if you then advance your career. And people stay miserable in one position because of not wanting to advance their career. And trust me, going back to school when you have got a work experience, it's very much doable, because a lot of people have fear that I didn't qualify when I was in like a specific maybe after passing matric. There's something like experience that gets considered, that you could go study at a university because of the experience that you have. So do a lot of research about these options that are available for you to advance your careers, because I know a lot of people feel like, no, I won't be able to do it because I don't think I'm smart enough, I don't think I can study. But the fact that you are working and you are delivering great results, trust me, when you go back to school with the experience that you have, could even be easier for you to grasp a lot of things in class because of then that experience that you have from work. Yeah.
I think the issue here at hand is also ourselves. Like, we're always the ones that are looking down upon ourselves or limiting ourselves. So the first step is dealing with self. But but also you can speak to a career strategist to help you navigate into that, climbing the career, advancing your career, going back to pursuing that goal or that dream. And you can speak to career strategists just like Dan Chatwaya. Speaking of which, how can the listeners of Link FM contact you for more of your services, and how can you assist them so that they can also advance their careers?
Yeah, and just before I mention my my details, I like the fact that we are our own biggest obstacle, and this is true. A lot of my clients, when I hear their stories, they are the ones that are like standing in their way to success. And nobody else. So it's very important that you really talk to people about like what you want to achieve in life, how you want to advance your career. So you have to take charge of your career, because if you don't, nobody else will. And then for contacting, please do send me an email at career.corporatehub@gmail.com. And then I'm also available on LinkedIn and Instagram at Kodani Sajwayo. And then on TikTok also, I share a lot of information about careers. This month rather, we are dealing with it's a mental health awareness month. So for
That's
me,
right.
this is a big topic in the workplace, because a lot of people go through a lot at work, and some people die at work because of mental health issues. So I'm sharing some of the information around that, and also the navigation around just to create your own healthy work environment at work. So yeah, that's where you can
All
find
right.
me. Yes, and also on YouTube as well. There's quite a lot of videos that you can also find, especially for CV writing, job interviews, and also just job hunting strategies.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kudani, once again for speaking to us here on climbing the career ladder. So maybe next week, what we're going to do, because of time, I'm going to ask you, because I also need to catch up, by the way, what book you are reading. Yes, I'm going to come back. I'm going to answer that one. So next week, when we do climbing the career ladder, let's start off with what book you are currently reading. I'm sure you've been reading a lot of books. Are you nearly by your target before I let you go? Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Oh no, actually, reading hasn't been easy with me adapting here. I still need to learn Mandarin, so now my focus has really just been on that. But I think I'm slowly going back to, reading. I was actually looking at, I've got 10 days. 10 books up to my target for 30 until December. So I'm like, am I gonna get there? So I'll definitely
I'm sure you can.
make time. Yeah.
I'm sure you would. You are so so encouraging to also look at it and be like, man, this lady is nearly by her target. And if that's motivation for us, it's surely motivation for you. So I'm going to be ending off another segment of Climbing the Career Ladder with Kodani Sanchwayo. If you would like me to put you in touch with her, please send me a WhatsApp on the WhatsApp line, and I'll try and see how I can share those details with you. Thank you once again, Kodani, and we're going to have a chat with you once again next week.
Thank you so much, Bantu.